All right, hi there. Let's take a look at this set of essays that you've sent us. The first one is about international marketing. With the advent of globalization, international marketing has been experiencing a great deal of changes regarding marketing policies and strategies. A vast majority of the society has always been in favor of this because in this open market era, this trend is quite usual to disseminate concepts, linguistic variation, and cultural diversity. However, there are some people who consider this phenomenon it's one phenomenon, right? So it should be O-N. It's not like plural. Negatively, as it can have a great impact on local respective industry of the country. That's strange. It's a little awkward here. I extremely support, no, you don't extremely support anything. So I strongly support international marketing as it has a lot of positive impacts on economic growth of the country. This essay will explore both points of view. Okay, fine. I mean, it's a little too much. I think you could have gotten rid of some of this. And the reason why I say that is it's really more important to spend time developing your body paragraphs and less so on your introduction and your conclusion. They have a specific role to fill. But once you fill that role, it's really in your best interest to develop your body paragraphs and spend less time on your introduction. For example, look at this. This is considerably longer than your second body paragraph, whereas it should be the opposite, all right? This is the paragraph that should be more developed. But let's see what you actually wrote for your body paragraphs here. To begin with, people who believe this trend is... no, there's something happening with your grammar here. To begin with, people who believe this trend as an invasion into the country, they have several rationalities. All right, no, this is really wrong grammatically. People who believe this trend is an invasion into the country have several, this is the wrong word, several justifications maybe. And then I would put a new sentence here. So stop, and then firstly, comma, the open market economy has opened up the windows for international marketing. Consequently, big industries of first world countries are investing money, which resulted in the diminishing of local small industries. As a result, a country's local product, heritage, and culture become endangered, is all you have to say. All right, now that's the kind of thing that you really need to explore a little more. Don't just stop there with this, but actually explain what that means. Why do they become endangered? So what are you trying to tell us? Why do you instantly assume that these first world country products will be preferred and the local products will be endangered? Secondly, not only can the local culture and language be affected with an A, but also the people who are working there for their livelihood will lose their job. Now, this is a sentence that, based on the way you wrote it, needs to use inversion and needs to have some grammatical changes happening here. All right, now, rather than going to this finally, you have to explain what you mean. Why? How? Explain it a little further. Finally, international marketing and education can affect the local student in many ways. For example, Indian students who want to pursue a higher degree in Australia need to take educational loans. Get rid of this. There should be educational loans because tuition fees are so high they cannot afford, which results in an economical burden on them. I'm sorry, what does this have to do with anything? International marketing and education. This really feels off topic to me. We're not talking about educational loans. I think you've misinterpreted what is being meant here by international marketing as an economical form of education. So there's some sort of disconnect here, but you've misunderstood something. On the other hand, there are some people who accept this economic transformation of education system. No, this economic transformation of the education system. First of all, it can enrich local language and culture through bringing all people together from culturally and linguistically different backgrounds. How? How does international marketing do this? I feel again that there's some misunderstanding of the topic. First of all, it can enrich local language and culture. All right, you said that. Moreover, a country can be benefited economically through the foreign currency invested for education. Last but not, all right, you need to go into detail here. Last but not least, there is a great chance to accumulate great concepts in research or education to produce more new knowledge. All right, this is a list. This is not a paragraph. You didn't support any of these ideas. Look, first of all, moreover, last but not least, there is no support. Okay, so it's not a paragraph, it's a list when you do that. So this is what I was saying before when I said this felt really short, but this felt too long. You need to kind of reverse your emphasis, put more emphasis in this paragraph and less here. And again, like I said before, there seems to be a misunderstanding of this topic. I don't think you really understood what was being asked of you. Let's keep moving though. To conclude, I will reiterate that no comma is necessary here. International marketing is an opportunity, not a curse for a country. Governments only need to oversee the foreign marketing policies to ensure their own benefit. All right, well, since you are in favor of this, this is the paragraph that needs to go last. Okay, so it should be paragraph 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4. Okay, so there are some good things happening with your writing, but there is definitely some work that needs to be done as well. We'll talk about it a little more at the end. We've got the movie chart. Okay, fine. The bar chart displays statistics about the preferences of, I wouldn't say watching cinema, I would say movie genres of young girls and boys across the world. It doesn't say boys and girls. You have to be careful. It says young adults, if I remember correctly. So you should not assume that they are boys and girls. If it's adults, then it should be men and women. Okay? Overall, among 6 categories of movies, including action, animation, comedy, drama, horror, romantic, most of the young adults, comma, irrespective of gender, comma, prefer to watch, how about comedy movies? Not movie based on comedy, that's wrong, so it should be comedy movies. Okay, it can be clearly observed that, no comma here, watching romantic movies, not watching, but just romantic movies stood at their lowest recorded level at just under 31 for males and approximately 116 for females, which is the second favorite option for females. It's a little redundant. So you could have made this a little more cohesive by saying something like, stood at their lowest recorded level at just under 31 for males and approximately 116 for females, which was the second favorite option for this gender. Okay? In the case of animation and horror movies, the differences of ratio between men and women are minimal, at only 10%. The proportion of men watching animation and drama is the same, at 63. It never talks about percentage. I don't know why we're talking about percentages here. The second favorite category for males, is action movies with 137, whereas for girls it is 82. To conclude, it is obvious from the chart that the lowest proportion of men like to watch romantic movies. In contrast, women prefer romantic movies as their second best option. All right, you didn't need to have a conclusion here because you already had an overview, so there's no reason to have both. Personally, I prefer an overview just where you put it. I wasn't really crazy with the way you organized this. I thought you kind of, it didn't really feel like particularly logical to me. You started, you talked about comedy, and then you talked about romance for women and for men, and then you talked a little bit about animation and horror, but you just told me what the difference was, so I really don't know where those numbers were. I just know what the difference between them is. And then you talked about animation and drama. I don't know. This was confusing. I didn't really understand this sentence. Stands at 63%. And I guess that was okay. So there was just some incoherence here. And like I said, I wasn't really thrilled with the way you organized this. So you've got some good elements to your writing. I think I said that before with your task 2, but we do have some work to do, and we do have some elements that we have to put together to make sure you're getting the score that you probably need. I'm assuming you probably need above a 7 and above. So there's some work to do if that's your goal. What I want to do is I want to encourage you to sign up with one of the options with us, whether it's essay corrections or the online course. Both of them will be really helpful. The online course is great because you get a template which will help you how to structure your essays and make sure that they're cohesive and they're on topic. So that's a wonderful option, I think, for you, especially based on what I saw here in your task 2, rather, forgive me. So hopefully we'll see more work from you in the future. I look forward to it. Best of luck to you.